Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Now before we get to the main topic of today's video, and I'm sure many of you have heard about this, I sure have been getting a ton of emails about it, and so I wanted to briefly show you guys, especially those who haven't seen this yet. But over the past couple of days, the UFO and alien research community has been going crazy after a patent. Well, it's actually an application for a patent, but nonetheless, a patent for the mysterious craft we've spoken about many times before. You'll know it as the TR-3B. And I'll put a link to this down below, but someone found it on Google Patents. You can see the title, which is Triangular Spacecraft. The abstract describes it as a spacecraft having a triangular hull with vertical electrostatic line charges on each corner that produce a horizontal electric field parallel to the sides of the hull. This field, interacting with a plane wave emitted by antennas on the side of the hull, generates a force per volume, combining both lift and propulsion. So, the original filing date is December 20th, 2004. The publication date is July 6th, 2006, with the inventor stated as John St. Clair. And as you scroll down here and you read the summary, the background, the claims, and what appears to be a lot of really difficult math equations is the best way I can describe it. And I've talked to a few people about this. And the big question is, if this was published back in 2006, why is it just now coming into the limelight? And so there was a question of whether this thing was just released, but has been backdated to make it look like this thing has always been here. Now, for those of you who don't know, the TR-3B, as it's called, is basically the United States' most secret aircraft that also goes by the code name Astra, and it's a tactical reconnaissance aircraft, with its very first operational flight said to have occurred in the early 1990s. The triangular-shaped, nuclear-powered aerospace platform was developed under the top-secret Aurora program, with SDI and black-budget money. At least 3 of the billion-dollar-plus TR-3Bs were flying by 1994. And many look at the Aurora as the most classified aerospace development program in history. And most government people will tell you that this thing doesn't exist, even the Wikipedia page states that the TR-3 Black Manta is only a speculated black project. But we have tons of proof that this thing is real. It's one of the few craft that has been sighted more than any other UFO in history. And if you just look back at the progression of the spacecraft that the US government has been developing all the way back since the turn of the century, you'll notice that there is a distinct similarity and set of characteristics that begin to mimic this triangular shape. And these things have been seen all over the world. They've even been seen in space. So, you know, I think there is a question of what exactly these things are made from. Are they strictly from the US government and man-made technology, or were they created using anti-gravity tech retrieved and reverse-engineered from an alien craft? And, you know, that brings up another question as to why this patent or application for a patent is suddenly appearing. It's also been stated and theorized that this may very well be part of the ongoing disinformation campaign, and that they knew that people would jump all over this and take it at face value. And you know, a lot of the math equations here I've had people look at as well, and they don't understand it. Like, it's just gibberish to them. So that's another question we have. So could this be simply a ploy by the powers that be to falsely lead us into assuming that the TR-3B is nothing more than a man-made craft, and that it has nothing to do with aliens? And is that what they want us to think? There's just a lot of questions around the sudden release of this patent. So let me know what you guys think. I'll put the link to it down in the video description. And whether it's legitimate or not, the evidence of the existence of these triangular craft displaying anti-gravity characteristics have definitely been seen and are real. So with that, I want to get to the main topic of today's video, and that is with the fact that for a while now, the public research community and apparently NASA themselves have been detecting hundreds of these unexplainable flashes of light that were observed reflecting off of our planet, and these were captured in various satellite photographs. And so for years now, these strange glints of light, which you're seeing here in these photographs, have been mystifying those that have been researching them and finding them in, again, hundreds of photographs of Earth taken from space. And these reflections were originally thought to be from the sun reflecting off of the ocean. Even astronomer Carl Sagan once spoke about the anomalous flashes and reflections back in 1993 after he found them in photographs that had been snapped by the Galileo spacecraft. And so in those original photographs, these large glints of light were originally only seen in areas that were covered by water. And so they deduced that basically we were just seeing reflections off of the ocean, nothing more to it. Well, that is until about 24 years later, when more of these strange glints of light were witnessed once again, but this time they were over land. And according to reports between June 2015 and August 2016, over 866 of these so-called light bursts have been detected in satellite photographs, strangely with all of them happening or coming from land, not the ocean. And NASA started to get inundated with emails and messages from people, including myself and my viewers, who were looking at these things, and it was obvious that these were not simply reflections off the ocean. So according to NASA, they took data from the EPIC camera and mapped out exactly where the huge glints were coming from and found that the source was coming from about 3 to 5 miles above the surface of the Earth. And using a bunch of fancy models and software programs, they have put forth the theory. Alright, this has not been proven, this has not been peer-reviewed. It is simply what they are telling us, that these massive reflections are being caused by nothing more than sunlight reflecting off of hypothetical horizontal ice crystals. Now, already, NASA is being targeted by those who have looked at these reflections and the sheer size of them, and are finding it hard to believe that they were created by a mere ice crystal hanging in the atmosphere of Earth. There is a question of just how much sunlight is actually being reflected through the atmosphere, and whether ice crystals could truly be the culprit for such a powerful reflection. And so many people have scoffed at NASA and firmly believe that many of these reflections are from aircraft that are moving through and high above the atmospheres of our planet. And who knows? Maybe it's all just ice crystals and swamp gas. Maybe we've been wrong all along. Maybe NASA has told us nothing but the truth for all of these years. As always, I will let you guys make up your mind, but do check out the mysterious TR3B patent. And before we go today, I would like to give a special thanks to a Miss Willette Beauvier, who recently shipped me a set of these epic SecureTeam hand towels that she apparently created herself through her embroidering business, which is based in Cool, California. And just look at these things. You guys have been so generous, so cool. I've gotten so many awesome gifts and pieces of fan art, and this is yet another that I am so proud to add to my collection. These are going to go beautifully with all of my other SecureTeam memorabilia. I'm going to put them here right next to my official SecureTeam flag. That's right, guys, we have a flag now, and I'm hanging it proudly on the wall behind me when I record videos as a symbol of pride for how far we've come together as a channel and as a community. And I just want to give a big thanks to Willette for taking the time to do this. And of course, I'm going to plug your shop here. Anybody near Cool, California, or who wants to have something hand embroidered just like this, please look up Willette at Machine Embroidered Delights. The details and link I will put down in the video description. It's the least I can do, so a big thanks to Willette for doing this, and to all of you guys who are continually sending me in pics and videos of you showing your endless support for this channel. It really does mean a lot. So thank you all for watching today. I'll get out of your hair, and stay tuned, because I've got new videos in the works, and I will have them up as soon as possible. So please share this video, subscribe on your way out, and enjoy the rest of your night.